Before we begin tonight's story, find a comfortable place to rest. Let your shoulders relax and allow the worries of the day to slowly drift away. Tonight, we're traveling to a quiet little corner of the world where gentle rain never stops falling, and every raindrop carries a story waiting to be discovered. So, dim the lights, close your eyes if you'd like, and simply listen as the soft rain guides us toward a peaceful cottage, hidden deep within an enchanted forest. This is the rain collector's cottage, and now our story begins. On the edge of a quiet valley, hidden behind rolling green hills and ancient pine trees, there was a tiny village where every evening ended with warm candlelight and gentle silence. No one hurried there. No one spoke loudly. Even the wind seemed to move softly, as though it never wished to disturb anyone's dreams. The villagers believed that every season had its own song. Spring hummed through blooming flowers. Summer whispered across golden fields. Autumn danced among amber leaves. Winter wrapped every rooftop in peaceful stillness. Yet there was one place that belonged to none of the seasons. Far beyond the last stone bridge, past the winding forest path, there stood a small wooden cottage. Something unusual happened there. It rained every single day. Not heavy storms, not frightening thunder, just a gentle rain that never truly stopped. The rain fell like a quiet lullaby. Tiny silver drops drifted through the air, so softly that flowers never bent beneath them. Birds continued singing. Butterflies still danced between blossoms. Even the old wooden roof never seemed damaged by the endless rain. It was as if the rain itself had learned kindness. The villagers simply called it the cottage where it always rained. Most people smiled whenever they passed the path. Some believed the rain protected the cottage. Others believed it washed away sadness before anyone entered. No one really knew, and no one tried to find out, except one young traveler. Her name was Eliana. She loved peaceful places more than crowded towns. Whenever she heard an old story, she followed it, not because she expected treasure, but because every forgotten tale carried a little wonder. One cool evening, while walking through the pine forest, she noticed something strange. The rain had already begun. Soft drops landed upon the leaves around her, but only one narrow path remained perfectly dry. Curious, Eliana stepped onto the little trail. It curved gently between moss-covered stones, glowing mushrooms, and tiny lantern flowers that shimmered with pale golden light. The farther she walked, the quieter the world became. Soon, even the birds stopped singing. Only the sound of gentle rain remained. Step by step, the wooden cottage slowly appeared through the silver mist. Warm light glowed behind its tiny windows. Smoke curled lazily from the chimney. Rows of colorful glass jars rested beneath the roof, where the rain quietly fell into each one. Some jars shimmered gold, others glowed pale blue. One reflected tiny stars. Even though night had not fully arrived, Eliana had never seen rain like this before. She walked closer, careful not to disturb the peaceful silence. Before she could knock, the cottage door opened by itself. Standing there was an old man with kind eyes, silver hair, and a gentle smile. He held an old wooden umbrella, though he did not seem to need it. The rain never touched him. "Good evening," he said softly. "I've been expecting you." Eliana blinked in surprise. "We've never met." The old man smiled. "No, but the rain remembered your footsteps." For a moment, neither of them spoke. Only the rain whispered around the cottage. The old man stepped aside. "Come inside. The fire is warm, and the rain has many stories to tell tonight." Eliana looked once more at the glowing glass jars outside. Each tiny raindrop seemed to sparkle, with a secret waiting to be shared. With a quiet smile, she crossed the wooden doorway. Behind her, the gentle rain continued falling, as though it had been waiting for this evening all along. The moment Eliana stepped inside the cottage, she felt as if she had entered a different world. Outside, the gentle rain continued to fall. But inside, everything was warm. Everything was quiet. The little wooden cottage was much larger than it looked from. Outside, soft golden light filled the room from small hanging lanterns. The walls were covered with wooden shelves, and every shelf held dozens of beautiful glass jars. Some were small enough to fit in a person's hand. Others were tall and elegant, reaching almost to the ceiling. But these were not ordinary jars. Each one carried a tiny world inside. Some jars shimmered like morning sunlight. Some glowed with the soft color of the evening sky. Some seemed to hold tiny moving lights, like distant stars floating in the night. Eliana Lee slowly walked deeper into the room. Her footsteps were quiet against the old wooden floor. She looked around with wonder. "Are these all filled with rain?" she asked softly. The old man smiled as he placed a small kettle over the warm fireplace. He replied, "But not just ordinary rain." He carefully picked up a small glass jar from a nearby shelf. Inside, tiny golden drops moved gently, glowing like little pieces of sunlight. "This is memory rain." Eliana leaned closer. She could see something moving inside the golden drops. It was not reflection. It was a scene. A small garden, a wooden swing, the sound of laughter. A peaceful afternoon that seems to exist inside the raindrop itself. Every drop remembers something beautiful, the old man explained. Some remember a child's first smile, morning beside an old tree. Some remember moments people thought they had forgotten. Eliana watched silently. The little golden rain inside the jar moved slowly, almost like it was breathing. "Why do you collect them?" she asked. The rain collector looked toward the window. Outside, the silver rain continued falling over the forest. Because beautiful moments are easy to lose. Days pass, people grow older, places change, But memories, memories deserve a safe place to rest. The cottage became quiet. Only the sound of rain and the gentle crackling of the fireplace filled the room. The old man walked toward another shelf. This one was covered with blue glass jars. Their soft glow painted the wooden walls with peaceful colors. Every rain has a story, he said. Carry dreams. Some carry kindness. Some carry wishes that were never spoken aloud. Gila looked at all the jars around her. For the first time, she realized something. The rain outside the cottage was not falling randomly. Every drop had a purpose. Every drop carried something precious. The rain collector handed her the small golden jar. Hold it carefully, Eliana. Gently placed both hands around it. The moment she touched the glass, a warm, golden light surrounded her. The sound of rain changed. For a brief moment, she was no longer standing inside the cottage. She was standing beneath an old apple tree. A gentle breeze moved through green leaves. A little wooden swing moved slowly. The air smelled like fresh flowers. After rain, there was no voice, no words, only a feeling of peace, a feeling of being somewhere safe. Then, slowly, the golden light faded. Eliana found herself back inside the cottage. The jar was still glowing softly in her hands. The rain collector smiled. Now you understand. The rain does not only fall from the sky. Sometimes it falls into our hearts. Eliana looked at the golden jar again, and for the first time that evening, she wondered how many other stories were hiding inside the countless jars around her. Outside, the rain continued, whispering, and deep inside the cottage, thousands of little memories waited patiently to be discovered. After experiencing the golden memory rain, Eliana remained silent for a while. She looked around the cottage differently now. Before, she had only seen beautiful glass jars, but now she understood. Each jar was holding something precious, a tiny piece of a moment, a little piece of a story. The rain collector gently placed the golden jar back onto its wooden shelf. Then he walked toward the other side of the room. There, hidden behind hanging vines and small lanterns, was a collection of deep blue glass jars. Unlike the golden jars, these ones looked like they were holding the night sky itself. Soft blue light moved inside them. Tiny silver sparkles floated between the raindrops. Eliana slowly followed. "What kind of rain is this?" she asked. The old man smiled. "This is dream rain." He lifted one of the blue jars carefully. "These drops collect the dreams people carry in their hearts." Eliana looked closer. Inside the jar, she saw tiny clouds drifting through a peaceful blue sky. Small lights appeared and disappeared like distant stars. Dreams are not only what we see when we sleep, the rain collector explained. are also the hopes we quietly carry, the places we wish to visit, the things we wish to learn, the kindness we hope to share. He placed the jar near the window. A single blue raindrop slowly floated upward inside the glass. Then, something magical happened. The room became filled with a soft blue glow. The sound of the rain outside became quieter, almost like a gentle song. Eliana watched as the blue light formed a beautiful scene inside the raindrop. She saw a little paper boat floating on a calm river. She saw a child sitting beside the water, imagining faraway lands. She saw mountains covered in snow-topped fields filled with flowers, sky full of endless possibilities. But there was something special about the dream. It was not about reaching a destination. It was about enjoying the journey. The world is full of unfinished dreams, said the rain collector. So, dreams are forgotten because people become too busy. Some disappear because people stop believing in them. But the rain remembers. Eliana looked at the blue jar quietly. Can dreams really be saved? She asked. The old man nodded. Not every dream needs to come true. Some dreams simply need to be remembered. Outside the window, the gentle rain touched the forest leaves. Every drop created a tiny sparkle before disappearing into the earth. The rain collector walked toward the oldest shelf in the cottage. There was one jar placed alone. It was different from all the others. It was smaller, older, covered with tiny marks and patterns. What is inside that one? Eliana asked. The old man looked at the jar for a moment. This jar contains a rain that very few people have ever seen. What kind of rain? The old man smiled softly. The rain of forgotten wishes. Eliana looked at the mysterious jar, but before she could ask more, a soft bell sound came from somewhere inside the cottage. The candles flickered gently. The blue dream rain jar began glowing brighter. The rain collector looked toward the window. The night is getting deeper. The rain is ready to tell another story. Eliana looked around the magical cottage. Thousands of jars surrounded her. Thousands of hidden stories waited quietly. And now she knew she had only discovered the first few drops of a much bigger mystery. The gentle rain continued falling. Outside, the fireplace continued glowing inside. And beneath the peaceful sound of the night, the cottage whispered its secrets. The morning arrived quietly at the rain collector's cottage, not with loud birdsong, not with rushing winds, but with the gentle sound of raindrops touching the old wooden roof. Drip, drop, drip. The cottage slowly awakened beneath a soft silver mist. Inside, the fireplace still held a warm orange glow from the night before. The hundreds of glass jars on the wooden shelves reflected the morning light, creating tiny colors across the walls: golden, blue, silver, and every shade of rain in between. Eliana stood near the window, watching the forest outside. She had spent the entire night inside the cottage, listening to stories, discovering magical rains, and learning that even the smallest raindrop could carry a forgotten memory or a quiet dream. But now, something beyond the cottage was calling. The rain collector placed 2 warm cups of tea on the wooden table. "Today," he said gently, "the forest will show you where the rain begins." Eliana turned toward him. "Where the rain begins?" The old man smiled. "Every drop has a journey. Before rain reaches a window, before it touches a flower, before it fills a jar, travels through places most people never see." He walked toward the cottage door and picked up his old wooden umbrella. "Would you like to see?" Eliana looked outside. The forest was covered in soft morning fog. Tiny drops of rain rested on every leaf. The path ahead disappeared between ancient trees. It looked mysterious, but not frightening. It felt like the forest itself was quietly inviting her. In she followed. The rain collector outside. The moment they stepped away from the cottage, the sound of the world changed. The rain became softer. The wind became calmer. The trees seemed to whisper gentle melodies. They walked along a narrow forest path covered with green moss. Small flowers opened as raindrops touched them. Tiny glowing insects floated between the branches, leaving trails of warm, golden light. The rain collector walked slowly. He never rushed, because, he explained, the forest reveals its secrets only to those who take their time. Tar, as they continued deeper, Eliana noticed something unusual. The trees were not wet, even though rain was falling everywhere. Their leaves sparkled like polished glass. She reached out and touched one. A single raindrop rolled down the leaf. But instead of falling, it floated gently into the air. The drop shimmered, then joined dozens of other floating drops moving through the forest. "Where are they going?" Eliana whispered. The rain collector looked ahead, to the rain garden, the place where every drop remembers its purpose. The path became brighter as they walked. The trees grew taller. Their branches formed a natural ceiling above them. Silver rain fell through the leaves like tiny pieces of light. Soon, Eliana heard something, a soft sound, like music. But it wasn't coming from an instrument. It was coming from the forest itself. The leaves were singing, the flowers were humming, and somewhere far ahead, a gentle river was calling. The rain collector stopped beside an old wooden bridge covered with moss. Beyond the bridge, the forest opened into a glowing valley. Thousands of flowers moved softly beneath the rain. The air shimmered with tiny lights, and in the center of the valley, a beautiful garden waited. A garden unlike anything Eliana had ever seen. The rain collector looked at her quietly. "Welcome to the place where the rain remembers." Eliana stepped closer. The silver drops continued falling around her, and for the first time, she felt that the rain was not something happening around her. She felt she was a part of it. Beyond the old wooden bridge, the rain garden opened like a hidden dream. Eliana stood quietly. For a moment, she had seen many beautiful places in her life. Green valleys, quiet forests, fields full of flowers. But nothing had ever felt like this. She had never imagined every flower held a tiny drop of glowing rain. Every leaf reflected the colors of the sky. Small streams of silver water moved gently between the flowers, carrying little sparkles that looked like fallen stars. The rain did not simply touch the garden, it danced with it. The rain collector walked slowly along the stone path. Long ago, he said softly, this garden was only an empty piece of land, but the rain remembered what it could become. And with every gentle drop, tea created something new. Eliana looked around in wonder. A small blue flower opened as a raindrop touched its petals. A tiny golden butterfly rested beneath a leaf, listening to the sound of the rain. The entire garden felt like a quiet song. Then she heard it again. The sound from before, a soft melody, not from birds, not from the wind, something deeper, something calmer. Do you hear that? Eliana asked. The rain collector smiled. The river is singing. They followed the sound through the garden. The path became narrower. Tall flowers surrounded them like a colorful ocean. The gentle rain created a silver curtain around the trees, and then they reached the river. It was unlike any river Eliana had ever seen. The water was clear like glass. Tiny lights floated beneath the surface. The river moved slowly, creating soft waves that sounded almost like a lullaby. There were no words, no instruments, only a peaceful melody carried by the water. The singing river, whispered the rain collector, carries a piece of calm. Eliana sat beside the riverbank. She closed her eyes. The sound of the water blended with the falling rain. The gentle wind moved through the trees. The flowers swayed slowly. For a moment, she forgot everything. Beyond the forest, no worries, no busy days, no distant thoughts, only the peaceful song of the river. The rain collector watched quietly. This river has helped many travelers, he said. Some came here carrying heavy hearts. Some came searching for answers. Some simply needed a quiet place to rest. And what happened to them? Eliana asked. The old man looked at the flowing water. The river never gives people what they expect, it gives them what they need. A small silver leaf floated down from a nearby tree. The river gently carried it away. Eliana smiled. She understood. Sometimes people did not need more words. Sometimes they did not need another journey. Sometimes they only needed a peaceful moment. The rain collector pointed toward the other side of the river. There, hidden behind a curtain of silver rain, was another path. A path glowing with soft golden light. "Where does that path lead?" Eliana asked. The old man looked toward the trees. "To the place where the rain keeps its oldest memories." Eliana looked at the mysterious path. The garden was full of secrets. The forest was full of stories. And now, the rain was inviting her deeper. As evening slowly approached, the singing river continued its gentle song. The flowers closed their petals. The glowing insects began dancing through the air, and beneath the peaceful rain, the journey continued. The golden path beyond the singing river waited quietly beneath the silver rain. It was not a path made of stones. It was a path made of tiny, glowing petals. Each step that Eliana and the rain collector took caused the flowers beneath their feet to shine softly before fading away. The forest around them became quieter. The trees grew older. Their trunks were wider. Their branches stretched high above, creating a beautiful roof of green leaves and silver raindrops. The rain collector walked slowly. He seemed to know every corner of this hidden forest. After a while, they reached a place where the rain changed. The drops were smaller, softer, almost like tiny pieces of light falling from the sky. Eliana looked around. "What is this place?" she whispered. The rain collector looked at the garden before them. "This is the garden of forgotten rain." Eliana stepped closer. At first, she saw only flowers. Hundreds of flowers. Thousands, perhaps. But these were not ordinary flowers. Some petals carried the colors of old sunsets. Some shimmered like childhood memories. Some glowed with the warmth of a candle beside a window. "What makes these flowers special?" Eliana asked. The rain collector gently touched a small white flower. "This garden grows from moments people almost forgot. Moments that were small, but meaningful." A tiny raindrop rested on the flower. Inside the drop, Eliana saw a peaceful scene. A family sharing tea beside a window. A child watching butterflies for the first time. Someone smiling while listening to an old song. Simple moments, quiet moments, moments that many people never thought to remember. "They are not great adventures," said the rain collector. "They are not famous stories, but sometimes smallest moments leave the deepest marks on our hearts." Eliana continued walking through the garden. Every flower seemed to hold a different feeling. A yellow flower carried the warmth of a summer afternoon. A blue flower carried the calm of a quiet night. A pink flower carried the happiness of a kind gesture. The garden was like a collection of little pieces of life. A place where forgotten happiness could bloom again. Then Eliana noticed something unusual. At the center of the garden stood one large tree. Its branches stretched above all the flowers. Thousands of tiny silver drops hung from its leaves. But unlike the other plants, this tree had no flowers, only raindrops. "Why doesn't this tree have flowers?" Eliana asked. The rain collector looked up. Because this tree holds memories that are still waiting. Waiting for what? For someone to remember them. A gentle breeze moved through the branches. The silver drops began glowing. The entire garden became brighter. One small raindrop slowly fell from the tree. It floated through the air and landed on a tiny, empty flower bud. Slowly, the bud opened. Inside was a soft, golden light. The rain collector smiled. Every forgotten moment has a chance to bloom again. Eliana watched the flower open. She realized something important. Not everything precious needs to be big. Not every beautiful thing needs to be noticed by the whole world. Sometimes, a quiet smile, a warm cup of tea, a peaceful afternoon, a kind word. These little things are the treasures people carry forever. The rain continued, falling gently around them. The garden of forgotten rain shimmered beneath the trees, and somewhere deep inside the forest, more hidden places waited. More stories waited. More rain waited. The rain collector looked toward the path ahead. Our journey is not finished yet. There is still one place you must see. Eliana followed his gaze. Beyond the garden, a soft, silver glow appeared between the trees. Something ancient was waiting there. Something the rain had protected for many years. And slowly, they continued walking. The path beyond the garden of forgotten rain became quieter with every step. The flowers slowly disappeared. The ancient trees grew taller, and the gentle sound of rain became softer. Almost like a whisper, Eliana walked beside the rain collector, following the faint silver glow that moved between the trees. She had already seen so many wonders: the golden memory, rain, the blue dream, rain, thought, the singing river, the garden of forgotten rain. Yet something inside her told her that the forest was still hiding its greatest secret. After a long walk, they reached the edge of a small valley. At the center of the valley stood a circle of ancient stones covered with moss. Above them, hundreds of tiny streams of water floated in the air. They did not fall. They moved slowly, like ribbons of silver light. Eliana looked up in amazement. What is this place? The rain collector stood quietly. This is where the journey of every raindrop begins. He walked closer to the ancient stones. For many years, people have looked at the rain falling from the sky. But very few have wondered, where does the rain begin? A soft breeze passed through the valley. The floating drops moved gently. The entire place seemed alive. The rain collector placed his hand on one of the old stones. Immediately, the stones began glowing with a soft silver light. The floating water gathered together, and slowly, a small crystal appeared above the stones. Inside the crystal, tiny clouds moved peacefully. "This is the heart of rain," said the old man. "The first drop, the beginning of every gentle rain." Eliana watched the crystal carefully. Inside it, she could see countless tiny lights. Some looked golden. Some looked blue. Some looked like little stars. "Are all rains created here?" she asked. The rain collector nodded. "But rain is not only water. It carries feelings. It carries memories. It carries dreams. That is why every rain feels different." Pointed toward the crystal. When someone experiences a beautiful moment, when someone holds on to a peaceful memory, when someone makes a wish with kindness in their heart, a tiny piece of that feeling joins the rain. Eliana looked at the floating drops around her. She finally understood. The rain was not just something that came from the clouds. It was a collection of countless little moments, a collection of the world's quiet happiness. The rain collector looked toward the forest. Long ago, people understood this. They listened to the rain. They noticed the small wonders around them. But as the world became louder, many people stopped listening. Valley became silent. Only the gentle sound of floating water remained. Eliana looked down. She thought about the small moments she had experienced. A warm meal, a peaceful walk, a kind conversation. Things that seemed ordinary, but were actually precious. The rain collector smiled. "That is why I protect this place. Not because rain is rare. Feelings inside it are small." Silver drop floated toward Eliana. It stopped in front of her dot. Inside the drop, she saw a simple image. The rain collector's cottage, the warm fireplace, the glowing jars, a place that now felt strangely familiar. The drop slowly disappeared. Eliana smiled. "Does that mean the rain remembers me too?" The rain collector looked kindly at her. "Rain remembers everyone who takes time to listen." The evening sky slowly changed colors above the valley. The silver light became softer. The forest prepared for another peaceful night. The rain collector picked up his umbrella. "It is time to return." Eliana looked back at the hidden valley. The heart of rain continued glowing quietly. She knew she would never see rain the same way again, because now every raindrop carried a story. Every drop carried a memory. And every gentle rain was a reminder that even the smallest moments in life could become something magical. As they walked back through the forest, the rain followed them softly, like an old friend saying goodnight. The silver storm continued throughout the night, but it was not loud. There was no thunder, no frightening wind, only a peaceful rain that covered the forest. With a gentle silver glow inside the rain collector's cottage, hundreds of glass jars shimmered beneath the magical light. Golden jars, blue jars, silver jars. Every jar seemed to awaken as the mysterious rain touched the roof. Eliana stood beside the window, watching the glowing forest outside. The trees looked like they were covered with tiny stars. The flowers sparkled. The river, in the distance, reflected the silver sky. It felt as if the entire world had fallen into a beautiful dream. The rain collector carefully carried the old jar he had taken from the wooden cabinet. Unlike the others, this jar was different. It had no bright colors, no golden glow, no blue light. It looked simple, almost ordinary. But inside, a single silver raindrop floated quietly. "Why is this jar different?" Eliana asked. The old man placed it gently on the wooden table. "Because this rain does not belong to one person. It belongs to a promise. A promise." The rain collector looked toward the glowing rain outside. "Many years ago, before this cottage became my home, I met someone who taught me the most important lesson about rain." He touched the jar softly. That person understood something many people forget. Even the smallest kindness can create a lifetime of memories. The silver raindrop inside the jar began glowing slowly. The room became brighter. The fireplace flame became still. The sound of the rain became softer, and inside the floating raindrop, a memory appeared. Eliana saw an old forest, small wooden cottage, a young traveler walking through the rain. The traveler looked tired, cold, and lost. But then, an elderly person opened the cottage door. They offered warmth, food, and a place to rest. No questions, no expectations, just kindness. The scene changed. Years passed. The traveler returned to the same cottage, this time carrying a small glass jar. Inside was a single raindrop. The traveler placed it into the hands of the person who had helped them long ago. "This is not just rain," the traveler said. "It is a reminder that kindness always finds its way back." The memory slowly faded. The silver raindrop returned to the jar. Eliana remained quiet. She understood now. The jar was not holding a simple moment. It was holding a feeling that had traveled through time. "Is this why you collect rain?" Eliana asked. The rain collector smiled. "At first, I thought I was collecting rain. But after many years, I realized the rain was collecting us." Eliana looked at the shelves around the cottage. Thousands of jars, thousands of stories, thousands of moments that could have disappeared forever. Outside, the silver storm became brighter. The glowing rain began falling toward the forest. The rain collector opened a small wooden window. A few silver drops entered the cottage. Each drop slowly moved toward a different jar. The golden jars received warm light. The blue jars received peaceful blue sparkles. The forgotten jars received gentle silver energy. Everything had a place. Everything belonged. Silver storm comes to remind every rain of its purpose, said the rain collector. And tonight has brought something for you. Eliana looked surprised. For me? The old man nodded. On the highest shelf of the cottage, a small, empty jar began glowing. It slowly floated down. The jar was clear like glass, waiting. "What is this?" Eliana whispered. The rain collector smiled. "An empty jar." "Why would an empty jar be special?" "Because every new story begins with an empty page." The jar slowly filled with a single drop of silver rain. The moment it touched the glass, the entire cottage became brighter. The rain outside became softer, and Eliana realized something. She was no longer only discovering the stories of the rain, she was becoming part of one. The night continued peacefully. The silver storm slowly moved across the forest. And beneath the glowing sky, a new rain story had begun.
The night slowly became quieter. The silver storm that had covered the forest began to fade. The glowing raindrops became fewer. The sky slowly changed from deep blue to a soft morning color. Inside the rain collector's cottage, everything became peaceful again. The hundreds of glass jars rested quietly on their wooden shelves. The golden jars stopped glowing brightly. The blue dream jars returned to their gentle light. The silver jars became calm. It was as if the entire cottage had taken a deep breath after a beautiful song. Eliana sat near the fireplace, holding the small empty jar the rain collector had given her. She looked at the tiny silver drop inside. It was small, almost invisible, but somehow it felt more meaningful than anything she had ever held. "Why did you give this to me?" Eliana asked. The rain collector smiled softly. "Because every person who visits this cottage leaves with something. Some leave with a memory, some leave with a dream, but some leave with a new way of seeing the world." Eliana looked around the cottage. She remembered the golden memory rain, the blue dream rain, the singing river, the garden of forgotten rain, the heart of rain. Every place had taught her something. The rain collector walked toward the oldest shelf in the room. There was a small wooden box hidden behind the jars. He carefully opened it. Inside was an old notebook. The pages were yellow with age. "This is where everything began," he said. Eliana watched as he opened the first page. The drawings inside showed the forest, the cottage, and a young person standing beneath the rain. "Was this you?" Eliana asked. The rain collector smiled. "Many years ago, I was just like you." Eliana looked surprised. "You?" The old man nodded. "I came here searching for answers. I thought I would discover the secret of rain, but I discovered something else." "What?" The old man looked toward the window. "That the world is already full of magic. We just become too busy to notice it." The cottage became quiet. Only the soft sound of morning rain remained. "When I first arrived," he continued, "I wanted to collect every raindrop. I wanted to save every memory. But over time, I learned something important. The rain cannot be owned. It can only be appreciated." Eliana looked at the glowing jars. "So the cottage chose me because—" The rain collector smiled. "Because you listened. Many people see rain and only think about getting somewhere faster. But you stopped. You watched. You wondered. And the rain noticed." Outside, the first sunlight touched the forest. The trees shimmered with tiny drops. The flowers opened again. The singing river began its gentle morning song. The rain collector opened the cottage door. A fresh breeze entered. "Will I ever see this place again?" Eliana asked. The old man looked at the forest path. "Places like this are never truly far away. Whenever you slow down, whenever you notice a small, beautiful moment, you will find a little piece of this cottage." Eliana stepped outside. The forest looked different now. Not because it had changed, but because she had changed. A simple raindrop on a leaf felt like a treasure. The sound of the wind felt like a song. A quiet morning felt like a gift. She turned back one last time. The rain collector stood near the cottage door. Behind him, the warm, golden light of the cottage shone softly. He waved gently. And then, the mist slowly surrounded the cottage. The trees became brighter. The rain fell a little stronger. And when Eliana looked again, the cottage was gone. Only the forest remained. But in her hands, the little glass jar was still there. Inside it, a single silver raindrop continued glowing. Years passed, seasons changed, but Eliana never forgot what she learned. She kept the jar safe, and whenever someone needed comfort, whenever someone felt lost, she would tell them about a hidden cottage in the forest, a cottage where rain remembered everything, a cottage where forgotten moments could bloom again, a cottage where every raindrop carried a story. And somewhere, deep within the enchanted forest, the rain collector's cottage still waited quietly, listening, remembering, and collecting the beautiful little moments that make life magical.